My name's Melissa Avera, and I love being a realtor. I specialize in real estate in the DFW and surrounding areas, and I also grew up here, so I'm very familiar with the Metroplex. Buying or selling a home can be an extremely stressful task, so I really try to go the extra mile to take that stress out of my clients' hands.
This is Going the Extra Mile. Now, from Frito Nation Productions in the Caddo Office Reimagined Studios, here's Melissa.
Thanks, Chris. We have a part 2 kind of series here. I wanted to talk about investing in yourself today. And this is something that's very important to me. And again, it's more on the personal development side. I have my buddy Josh in the studio with me again. And for a lot of people, I feel like if they have a goal that they're wanting to achieve, so many people just try to tackle it themselves. And they might see some progress and then they kind of stagnate. And then they get frustrated with themselves and give up. And for me, I have been that person. I have always tried, honestly, to do things on my own. And probably about 4 years ago, I realized if I really want to see the results and get where I want to be, I need help. I got to swallow my pride and just do it. And so with that being said, I got a real estate coach, and that has been an absolute game changer for me because they provide a different perspective on just everything from a business standpoint, from talking me off the ledge of, well, don't be afraid to do this. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah, you might fall on your face, but you're going to learn something valuable from it. And I feel like I've always been one of those people who is hesitant or afraid to ask for help. And I wouldn't say it's with just like one specific area of life. It's kind of everything. I just don't want to inconvenience people. You know, it can be something as simple as asking my husband to go get the groceries out of my car. Like, I'll just do it because I don't want to have him stop what he's doing or whatever it is. It can be very simple things, but I think people have a lot of fear that stops them, and I feel like asking for help is perceived as negative in our society. And I mean that by, like, if you're asking for help, that means, well, you're weak in an area or you're exposing a weakness of some sort. And I think that's absolutely terrible that our society perceives that, because I think you're a better person if you realize, hey, I want to do better. I want to grow. I want to contribute whatever you're trying to contribute, but I can't get there by myself. And now having a business coach and having Josh as my fitness coach, those are the best investments I could have ever made for myself. And I won't ever look back. I mean, people think they can't afford to, hire a coach or whatever. And I was the same person. Like, man, I don't want to spend $400 or $500 or whatever it is a month to have a coach. I mean, I'm not crushing it, or how can I do this? And then once I got into it and I started to see the level of value that they provide, I can't afford to not do it. And I think that's what people need to realize, that get out of your head about the cost. I know more people in my profession, in the real estate world, that they were just drowning. Their house is being foreclosed on. They're just in a really bad situation. And they don't have a dime to invest. And they're like, I need to get out of this hole, and I can't dig myself out by myself. I need help. And they spend literally their last dollars on getting a coach or getting the help. And that's scary as hell when that's all you have and you're willing to just kind of gamble it on yourself. But then once you get connected with the right person and they start just making small shifts and guiding you in the right direction, you realize you can't live without it. I mean, the trajectory of your business and your life changes. And for me, it's not just about making more money or succeeding professionally. It's all levels. They help with my relationships with my friends, my family, my clients. It makes me be able to give more of myself, I think, is what has been so huge for me. Is looking back now, I wish I would have gotten help from people years ago. And I just think that, people need to swallow their pride. It will cost you everything and leave you with nothing if you don't take a chance on yourself. Nobody's going to take a chance on you if you don't take a chance on yourself. And for Josh, I have had several over the years, fitness trainers and people I have, worked out with, and I've seen results, but no one has gotten me closer to where I want to be than he has. And it's because he listens and he sees, I tell him what I want to achieve. And I think you're just as eager to see me check that off my list. Like, oh, okay, I want to, whatever it is, I want to squat 125 pounds. Well, you're determined to get me there. You give that push and the motivation that I need, that if I was doing it by myself, it would never happen because I would be too scared. And in the fitness space, it's definitely for me, with my having some medical history and some injuries, old injuries, I've always been scared to push myself outside of my comfort zone because I'm so afraid of hurting myself. And that's why, you just do that for me. And you're real anal about my form on everything I do. I call him my form Nazi. I always try to, as he would say, go beast mode and do more or go heavier. But he's like, hey, nope, you need to move your arm an inch closer to here. And then I'm like, oh, okay. All of a sudden that got a hell of a lot heavier, or it's a lot harder. But it's having someone that I know is looking out for me in my best interest. And that's what you do for me every day in aspects. It's not just the fitness. Again, it's the business and it's personal. We just help each other with everything. And I think, going at it alone is it's going to lead you to disaster. You'll just never get where you want to be. And I wish someone would have told me that when I was much younger. Because, I'm 40 years old, and I'm just now to the point, really, where I realize I want to coach in every aspect of my life. There's other aspects I want to grow, so I should probably try to seek out maybe a financial coach or a this coach or that, just surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, who want you to succeed, and that you can learn from. If you don't, you're just going to stay in the same spot. And who wants to stay the same? I don't. I want to get better. If I get better, I'm a better person, and I'm better for my clients, and I'm better for my family. And then
someone who's driven the way you are, though, I can understand that they would think I've got all the answer. Look, successful small business owners, successful entrepreneurs, part of the reason for their success is they're confident. They at least think they're smarter than other people. But it sounds like you've got a very good combination and a great frame of mind where you accept that, hey, look, there are things that I need help with.
Yeah. You have to realize your worth. Like they call it self-worth for a reason, right? You're the only one that can determine that. And I have realized the older I've gotten that if I want to improve in any aspect of my life, sure, I can read things and I can YouTube things. We have so much at our fingertips nowadays that didn't exist 20 years ago. So you can learn a lot of things, but you have to fine tune. It's the little things. Again, just like every day, just small little changes to things is what is going to compound so that you're going to see the difference. And I mean, Josh, you have absolutely changed my world with the fitness, with the business. I mean, it's just everything is like it's falling into place. It's starting to click, and now I'm like in the best place and have the best routines. And if I don't get in a session, I always tell him, like, non-gym days are normally not good days for me. I mean, starting my day doing that, I just have more energy. I'm just better, I feel like, for everybody around me when I get it in versus when I'm like, then it just sets the tone for your whole day.
I'm kind of shallow. I relate everything to sports. But when you look at the best athletes, the super successful ones, and, I go back to Troy Aikman, who was a Hall of Fame quarterback, all the Super Bowls and everything. When he talked to him, he credits an offensive coordinator. He credits a coach. That coach isn't anywhere near the quarterback that Troy Aikman is.
Yeah.
He can't throw a football the way Troy Aikman can throw a football. Tiger Woods, greatest golfer possibly of all time, has coaches. So when you look at what the real successful people do, they do accept that help. And then they give credit to those people that are helping them. You need to learn something from that.
Yeah. And exactly to spin off on what you said, like some of these professional golfers or tennis players, like they have multiple coaches. They have a swing coach. They have, call it what you want. It could be a psychologist or whatever, just mindset, because so much of those sports or those games are, your mind has to be right. It is a mental game. You have one bad shot. You can't just let it, your mind go to the tank, because then you're just going to go downhill. You have to forget it and move on. Just learn from it and keep going.
And it'd be real easy for, like, Tiger Woods, go back to him, for him to be in the frame of mind that, I'm paying you to be my coach, but if we went out and played a round of golf, I'd beat you by 24 strokes. Yeah. But yet I'm taking advice from you. What am I doing wrong? But they know that's not wrong.
Right. And I think the thing, too, and Josh, is like, even the best coaches have coaches. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't think people realize that. I mean, you coach me every day, but you have a buddy that helps coach you.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have that to get where you want to go. I mean, people are afraid of, again, the asking for the help or, whatever. But that's just something I've realized you have to have. And I mean, you are such a good coach. I've told you this before, but I mean, the way you're just so good with people. And I think that's a gift. I mean, most people don't. There's a lot of people that aren't people or people pleasing, they're whatever you want to call it. I mean, they can't coach. They need to be coached. And you just have this way about yourself. It doesn't matter if you're training a 15-year-old boy or girl or me or an 80-year-old woman. You make them feel confident in what they're doing. And I think the biggest thing and the thing that drives me is, like, you make it so much fun. And if it's not fun, who wants to do it? I mean,
that's a great point.
I mean, I'll go to the gym sometimes and it's like, yeah, my session might be an hour, but I might be up there 2 hours because I'm talking to the guys or I'm whatever. But it is fun for me. And I'm around people I like and training with other women that I've built relationships with that I like. And it's just, you have to, if it's something you dread doing, you're not going to do it. Or you're going to keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and then get pissed off at yourself.
That's really interesting. I'm going to make it about me. I've I give free advice on my website and do blog entries and stuff like that, and do a podcast about podcasting. And I've written the 10 commandments of podcasting. And the most important one, as far as I'm concerned, is have fun. It should be something fun for you to do, just like you said. If it's not fun, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, if it's not fun, you better see some results. And if you can have fun and see results, that's a perfect world.
Yeah. Well, and I think the great thing about you, Josh, too, is, he'll show me or tell me like, hey, okay, I want you to do this, this, and this. And then I'll kind of do my thing. He'll set me up on a circuit. And if he'll go, and start helping somebody else. And if he sees me doing something wrong, he comes over and he'll look at me and go, what you doing? And just smile about it. It's not like, hey, you're screwing that up, you're doing it wrong, and making me feel like a dip and just screwing it all up. And you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who'd be like, you're doing it wrong. Like, listen, watch what I'm doing. And he just comes over with a smile on his face and is like, well, nope, you need to try it this way. So, and it's that approach. I mean, that's what makes you so good at what you do, because it makes people comfortable. If I'm doing stuff wrong all the time and I'm getting reprimanded by my coach, or, I like the feedback from people. And a lot of people think it's, criticism or whatever, but I would rather people give me feedback on everything, whether it's good or bad, because I'm not a mind reader. I mean, I'm not going to know whether it's somebody had a terrible experience with somebody I referred to them, or if I'm doing something wrong when I'm working out. It's nice to have somebody in your corner to come over and tell you, hey, what are you doing? This is the right way, and get me back on the right track, Well,
Josh and I can tell that y'all have a very healthy mutual respect for each other. It's probably real easy when you're working with someone like Melissa, who doesn't want to be doing it wrong. Yeah. If she's doing it wrong, it's not because it's a shortcut.
Right.
She's just doing it wrong.
Yeah. Melissa's basically any coach's dream client, because she is wound up, ready to go. All you have to do really is point her in the best direction you think is for her, and she'll just do it consistently as best as she possibly can. And she also trusts what you say so well. It just makes it the connection and the results that much better, because she really trusts me as a fitness coach and, her other coaches, and she'll take their information to heart and then take it and run with it. And a lot of time in coaching, you probably know you have to work on motivation and just getting them to do something, getting people to show up. That's a different type of client. She's not that. I really had to rein her in at one point, because I was like, hold on, you do how much? You did what? You did how many workouts a day? When do you recover? Okay. So let's regroup. Let's talk about this. So you're a lot of fun to work with. It's great.
Yeah, that's always fun too, when you tell me, like, it's nice to get somebody to tell you need to take a day off. Most people don't do that. So to have you say, hey, you got to promise me like at least one day a week that you're not going to do anything. Like, you're just going to chill and let your body recover. And, because then I've learned through you, thanks to that, and you have to have those. The same thing with business. Like, you need a day off. You need to set boundaries and have time for yourself to recover and decompress so that you can come back stronger and better.
Yeah.
All right. What's the one thing you want people to take out of this?
I would say very similar to the last, but invest in yourself. I mean, that is so important. And that can be a bunch of things, whether it's if it's getting a coach, or if you're afraid to jump in and get a coach, if you're not ready to commit to that and go all in, find somebody to coach you along the way, whether that's a mentor. Go to some kind of, professional development seminar or something where you can learn to get on the right track to achieve what you want to achieve. Because if you just try to do it by yourself, it's going to be a brutal battle.
All right, as always, I can't wait till the next episode.
Thanks,
Whenever
man.
we finish these things, I just look forward to the next time. So thank you so much, and we'll see you down the road.
Sounds good.
If you have questions about buying, selling, renting, or investing, don't go at it alone. Reach out to Melissa at 214-280-4317 or Melissa at melissamovesdfw.com. You can find out more about the Melissa Avera Realty Group at TVG by visiting melissamovesdfw.com. Thank you for listening to Going the Extra Mile.